To everybody. I hope the internet will hold today. Yesterday the internet was not supporting us, so I put a video on the WhatsApp thread for the reading of yesterday, but I don't know how many of you were able to hear that. It was a little bit quiet, so I'm going to actually read again the same portion today, what I read yesterday, so enthusiasts can keep up with the topics. So today is Diwali. Diwali, all of India, is one large firecracker. And it's a very beautiful celebration of lights. Principally when Lord Ram returns to Ayodhya, and all the residents, they put lamps in honor of him. It also symbolizes coming from the darkness to the light. There are many aspects to this Diwali. It's probably one of the biggest festivals in India. It's the main festival. So our whole class is going to be punctuated with lots of firecrackers. So just be patient and be prepared for us all to celebrate Diwali together through hearing the firecrackers. But tonight, all the devotees will go to Manasi Ganga and offer lamps, so many lamps. Manasi Ganga will be just filled with beautiful lights, and I'm sure there'll be many pictures on Facebook and so on of the beauty of Manasi Ganga lit up in the evening time. And also Radhakund, there'll be many lamps here, and it's a very wonderful celebration. So today, Pujapad Madhava Maharaj's party, they visited Radhakund. And on the way, they touched Uddhav Kund, and then they came around to Kusum Sarovar and returned back to the Gaudiya Math. So this was the local parikrama today. So we'll have our kirtan, and then we'll begin reading principally what we read yesterday, but I'll just try and read it straight through and stop whenever I feel it's appropriate. Okay.
Kundalam Gokule Braja
Asto Tarasarasi Simad Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Nitya Lila Pravishta Om. Asto Tarasarasi Simad Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Jai Jagat Guru Nitya Lila Pravishta Om. Asto Tarasarasi Simad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Swami Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Jai Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Jagannath Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Jai Srila Baladevi Dibhushan Gaudiya Acharya ki jai. Jai Srila Vishnath Chakravarti Thakur ki jai. Jai Narottam Srinivas Shyamananda Prabhu Treya ki jai. Jai Srila Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami ki jai. Jai Shri Rup Sanatan Shri Bhakta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhaktarasa Raghunath Sad Goswami Prabhu's ki jai. Jai Swarab Damodar Rai Ramananda Gauda Parasada ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem Sikha Ho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Shri Gauda Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Anta Dweep Mayapur Simanta Dweep Gautaram Dweep Madhya Dweep Kola Dweep Ritu Dweep Jana Dweep Motam Dweep Rudu Dweep Atmaka Navadweep Dham ki jai. Badravan, Bandiravan, Belvan, Lohavan, Mahavan, Madhuvan, Talvan, Kamudvan, Bahulavan, Vrindavan, Kadyavan, Kamyavan, Brajamandal ki jai. Shishi Radha, Krishna, Gopa, Gopi, Govardhan, Dwadasavar, Madhvika, Shri Brajamandal ki jai. Shri Radha Kun, Shama Kun, Ganga Jamuna Devi, Bhakti Devi, Tulsi Devi Maharani ki jai. Shrimati Brinda Devi Maharani ki jai. Shrimati Yogamaya Punamasi Devi Maharani ki jai. Gopishwa Mahadev ki jai. Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sudarshan Chakra ki jai. Ketra Mandal ki jai. Sarava Vigna Vanasakari Shina Shingadev ki jai. Bhakta Prabha Shri Prahlad Maharaj ki jai. Charudam ki jai. Chari Sampradaya ki jai. Chari Acharya ki jai. Akara Matraj Shri Chaitanya Mat ki jai. Shri Keshav Ji Gaudiya Mat ki jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Gota Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samagat Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Go Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Om Magina Timirandasya Gyananjala Shalakaya Chakshu Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Guruve Gauda Chandraya Radhikaya Tatalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tarabhaktaya Namo Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovishtam Shnapitam Jina Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadhamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Priya Swarupe, Daita Swarupe, Prema Swarupe, Sahaja Virupe, Nijana Rupe, Prabhueka Rupe, Tatana Rupe, Swabila Swarupe, Anapita Chirim Chirat Kurunavartino Kalam, Samarpaitam Unnata Ujvala Rasam Svabhakti Shriyam, Hari Purata Sundaratuti Kadamba Sadipita, Sadahradare Kandare Swadatu Vasachinandanaha, Yam Pravajantamana Paitima Paiti Krityam, Dvaipayano Viraha Katara Ajuhava, Putre Titam Mayatayo Tarabo Binidustam Sarvabhutam Hridim Munimanatoshmi, Bhaktiya Vihina Aparada Lakshay, Shiptascha Karmadi Tarangamadye, Kripa Mayitvam Sharanam Prapana, Brinde Namaste Charanara Vindam, Bhajami Radam Aravinda Netram, Smarami Radam Madhurashmitasyam, Vadami Radam Karuna Bharatram, Tatoma Manasti Katina Kapi, Tavaivasmi Najivami Tvaivina, Iti Vignaya Radhe Tvam Nayamam Charantikam. I'm first of all offering millions and millions of Dandavat pranams unto the lotus feet of my most beloved Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om, Asto Tarsara Shishimad, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. And I'm offering the same again, millions and millions of times unto the lotus feet of our most beloved, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om, Asto Tarsara Shishimad, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and all our illustrious Rupanuka Guru Varga, and all the Vaishnava and Vaishnavi devotees of the Lord, my Dandavat pranams to all of you. Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhavevacha, Patitanam Pavnibhyo, Vaishnave Namo Namaha. So as I was saying, yesterday we didn't have the internet coverage and there was no live stream, but we recorded and we sent the recording. So I don't know how many people were able to listen to the recording, but I'm going to backtrack to where we were from yesterday, and I'm going to just read through again what we read through yesterday. So I think we were on to page 90. This is where we started from.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just see if we can just read right through, and I'll make a few comments and we'll progress. So in principle, we've come through the first verse, which was establishing the Mangalacharyan in the first line, Namamishwaram Svachitananda Rupam. And then we were entering straight into the Leela, where Mother Yashoda's catching Krishna from behind. So this is an extraordinary Leela of this sort. Never heard of previously, in a sense. This is very rasik pastime, very confidential, madhurya mood. So who could have really understood this in its depth at the time without the mercy of Sachinandan Gaurahari, who opened the door to the current, the river of Madhurya appreciation manifesting in this world. Because prior to Mahaprabhu, as we said the other day, there was practically no support for Rag Marg. It wasn't prominent at all in the world. Mahaprabhu brought that gift through Madhavendra Puripad and Ishvara Puripad. So that first verse is the Leela. Second verse, Rudantam Muhur. Krishna's rubbing his eyes. Now we get again engrossed in that particular Leela, the one Leela. We've described this as called Mantra Upasana, when we're hearing just the one Leela. Then the third verse is Swarasiki Upasana, when many, many Leelas are being reminded through the Iti Driksva Leela Ananda Kunde. This Ananda Kunde, this Kund filled with bliss, and all the blissful pastimes Krishna is relishing, and the Brijbasis are relishing in their reciprocation with each other. And then now this Varam Deva Moksham, this wonderful verse where Satyabrat Muni is proclaiming he doesn't even want Navada Bhakti. So now we're going into the precepts of Bhakti. What is Bhakti? What is Shuddha Bhakti? What is Moksha? What is Vaikuntha Bhav? Etc. So this is what Satyabrat Muni is rejecting. And he's only wanting to see that beautiful form of Balagopal in his heart. That's his desire. So we come on the top of page 90, and we'll just read this through. So if you want to chant Janam Kastya.
Krishnam smaran janam chasya preshtam nijasamihitam tat kadharatas chaso kuryad vasam vraje sada.
The devotee should constantly remember Sri Krishna along with the dearmost associates of Sri Krishna, whom he chooses to follow, while permanently living in Braj. He should become attached to always hearing about him. If one is unable to live in Braj by body, then one should live in Braj by mind. So we've all heard the explanation of this. Okay, Seva Sadhak.
Seva sadhaka rupena siddhi rupena chatrahi tad bhavalipsuna karya vrajalokanusarataha.
He who has developed greed for Ragatmika Bhakti should closely follow in the footsteps of the particular associates in Braj whose moods he aspires for. Under their guidance, he should engage in service both in his external form as a sadhak and internally with his perfected spiritual body. So two considerations. There's our external practice of our sadhana, and then our internal reflection that will be manifest from that sadhana. So we must perform our sadhana very diligently Chesta and Kripa, the two fingers again. So we're performing the effort to attain the mercy, the Kripa of Krishna. That Kripa will manifest in the form of our realization of our spiritual form, that avaroha panta, that descending mercy from Krishna, which will be caused by the extremity of our efforts in our sadhana bhajan. If we choose, and all of us have a choice at every moment of our lives, every moment of the day, we have a choice to become more serious or not more serious. It's always our choice entirely. Krishna is just waiting for us to turn around and reciprocate with us. But we are the ones who are hesitating and wandering away into different illusory states within the material world. So these two aspects, chesta and kripa, effort and mercy from Krishna. The effort is going to be performed by the sadhak, and the kripa, that's going to give, that's the mercy of the Lord. He will give that. If the sadhak longs to attain the fully blossomed mature stage of prem, he should take to heart the instructions of Sri Raghunath Das. Raghunath Das is the Prayojanacharya. He's the He lived here in Radhakund for more than 50 years. And he lived with Mahaprabhu for 14 years in Jagannath Puri, witnessing all the extraordinary bhavs that Mahaprabhu experienced. So he was carrying everything that is necessary for our progress.
Yadiche ravasam rajabhuvi saragam pratijano rivadvandam tachet paricharitumārāda bhillashehe swarupam srirupam sahaganamiha tasyagrajamapi sputam premna nityam smaranama tadatvam srunumanaha.
If you wish to live in the land of Braj, birth after birth, and if you crave the chance to perform direct service to the eternally youthful divine couple in their parakiya affairs full of rag, then, my dear mind, listen to me. Realize deep love for Sri Swarup Damodar, Sri Rupa Goswami, his older brother Sri Sanatan Goswami, and all their associates. Remember them for all eternity and offer your obeisances to them in adoration. My dear mind, please listen to me. So this is the guidance of Raghunath Das. He's telling us to take shelter of these personalities to inspire our bhajan, to inspire our remembrance of those great exalted practitioners, or rag atmika bhaktas, not practitioners. They are fully realized, but still they have the example of their lives and their lifestyles that we can emulate, not imitate, we emulate. Emulate means that we try to go in that direction. It is thus clear that attaining Braja Bhakti is only possible by being under the guidance of the Brijabasis. This is the opinion of the Acharyas. How can, from something material, something spiritual manifest? It can't. We have to have the connection, like we've said so many times. There has to be the direct connection with those Brijbasis, or those who are immersed in the pastimes of Vrindavan and the gopis. Someone who wants Braj Bhakti will hear and chant according to his own specific mood. The following mantra, for example, enables devotees of all moods to relish the names, especially dear to them. According to their specific rasa, devotees will cherish one name in particular within this mantra. So one name will be relished by the devotees. Go ahead.
Sri Krishna Gopala Hare Mukunda Govinda He Nandana Kishora Krishna Ha Sri Yasoda Tanaya Prasidam Sri Vallavi Jivana Radhikesha.
Thank you. Sri Brihat Bhagavatamrita 247. Sri Krishna Gopala Hari Mukunda Govinda, O youthful son of Nanda, O darling son of Sri Yashoda, be pleased with me. O life of the gopis, O master of Sri Radhika. we are looking to bring Krishna pleasure through all these different names of Krishna, all with different meanings, different moods. Actually, each name has a different mood associated with it. So one should engage in Shravanam and Kirtanam, but that Shravanam and Kirtan should be of the names, form and qualities of Sri Krishna that are in relation to his pastimes in Braj. It should be performed while under the guidance of Rupanuga Vaishnavas, followers of Sri Rupa Goswami, Balagopal, followers of Srila Rupa Goswami. Balagopal, Yashoda's darling son, in Braj, can only be attained by this process. He can never be attained by performing the limbs of Vaidhi Bhakti. So we explained this quite extensively yesterday. So in the audio, something is there. You can listen again. So we understand that Vaidhi Bhakti can never attain Braj. Because remember when Uddhav comes into Braj in Brahmaragit, Krishna gives him a spurti of seeing everything as it is when Krishna is present. The gopis are all cheerfully singing, the sakhas are chanting, where is the milk, bring the cow, to untie the calf. Everything is like a whole festival occasion in the fields, and everything is jubilant, fully joyful. Uddhav, he's witnessing this when he comes on the chariot at dusk into Braj. And then he suddenly sees Krishna coming out of a doorway. So what does he do? He offers Dandavat Pranams. They don't offer Dandavat Pranams in Braj. So when he offers his Dandavat Pranams and gets up, everything has collapsed back into the separation mood. Everything's gone back into Viraha, that place without Krishna. So it's a mood, you know, that we are looking to catch up with. And when we read, when we hear, when we associate with those Rasik Vaishnavas in particular, our acharyas, through their writings and readings also, like it's not so easy to find Rasik Vaishnavas today particularly. Of course, they are always there, but not so prominent perhaps today. But we can hear the different classes from our acharyas who are most Rasik. We can read the commentaries of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. We can hear about Srila Gaurkishoras Babaji. We can hear the teachings of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. We can hear the direct classes of my Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Maharaj. And this will inspire us into that world of Braj. Srila Haridas Thakur chanted 300,000 holy names every day. Consequently, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself awarded him the title Namacharya, the most exemplary teacher of chanting the holy name. There's chanting the holy name, and there's entering into the sound vibration of the holy name. There's two considerations. You're chanting, you're performing your sadhan, and if that sadhan is pure enough sufficiently, it will carry you into a remembrance of your Siddhadeha, your principal perfected form. That's what it'll do. If we're chanting with a mood to listen to the sound vibration, to take shelter of the lotus feet of our Gurudev, then it will have that effect. But if we just chant with a mood filled with desire for liberation or moksha or even Vaikuntha, then we're going to be denied the highest principles. Although Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatana Goswami, Sri Das Goswami also performed bhajan, it is not written anywhere that they regularly chanted this many holy names. Srila Haridas Thakur's chanting and the chanting of the Goswamis each had their own unique speciality. So we have to appreciate this. The chanting of Haridas Thakur had so much special. Haridas Thakur was beaten in those 22 marketplaces by those Muslims, the Qazi, and he didn't stop his chanting, beaten until he gave up his body, apparently. He went into Samadhi and then was thrown into the Ganga. But his whole mood was to benefit the people around him. That was his mood. This is Lord Brahma and Prahlad. It's a different mood. So we have to hear about these different personalities and their moods and their practices. In a similar sense, the descriptions of the love exhibited by Lakshmi Devi and the love exhibited by Srimati Radhika, by Srivas Pandit, the crown jewel of devotees, and Mahaprabhu's intimate associate, and by Swarup Damodar respectively, each have their own unique specialities. At the time of Ratha Yatra festival, Srivas Pandit tried to establish the glories of Lakshmi Devi's love for the Lord. But in response, Swarup Damodar established the supremacy of the love of his own Swamini, Sri Radhika. And we told the pastime about the Hira Panchami, when Srivas Thakur is glorifying the opulence of Lakshmi Dev in relationship just to the forest of Vrindavan. But then Swarup Damodar corrects him and says, don't you know all the flowers of Vrindavan, they're Chintamani, they can reveal billions of jewels. The trees are Kalpavriksha, the cows are Kamandenu. These are all most exalted, transcendental person. It's a universe of difference. And Srivas Thakur, he gets that and then reverts to the, or comes into the consciousness of being Madhu Mangal. This is Narada Rishi. And then he begins dancing around and so on. It is also seen that when Pradumna Mishra came to Jagannath Puri, Sriman Mahaprabhu sent him to hear Krishna Katha from Sri Rai Ramananda, not from Srila Haridas Thakur, even though he was present in Puri at that time. Srila Haridas Thakur is the embodiment, is the combined form of Sri Brahma and Sri Prahlad, and his chanting of the holy name is absolutely pure. So don't ever think that they are inferior in any way. They have their own specific, unique qualities. Just like in this world, we have our own specific, unique qualities. Therefore, there should be never any cause ever for criticism of anybody. Everyone has their own path, and we should cultivate this quality of respect towards all sadhaks, all sincere sadhaks. And we will find that svajatiya, snigdha, ashraya, that association that is most compatible for the moods that we want to bring out. Svajatiya means own mood, own group. Like if those people who want to be, for example, a manjari. So I like to be with those people. And svajatiya snigdha, who are affectionate to me. There must be affection there. And ashraya, who are more senior. This is the best association. Svajatiya, snigdha, ashraya. This is the best association. Those in the same mood who want to understand the glories of the Brijbasis. This is what this whole commentary is bringing out, the Brijbasis' moods. Yes, all their chanting is absolutely pure. However, in any consideration, the particular moods or bhavs of the Vaishnavas are always the main factor in determining their exalted position. Everything depends on mood. My Gurudev would say this so often. What is the mood? What is the bhav? What is the atmosphere that has been created by the Harikatha? If in the Harikatha you're just being prominently told about the rules and regulations, don't do this, don't do that, if you do this, so on and so on, that becomes a little tedious after all. You're just only told you're not the body or the spirit again and again and again. That also, for some, will become a little tedious to those people who want more Braj-flavored katha. So we have to pick our places. It's up to us. Sri Prahlad Maharaj is a Jnani Bhakta and can never ascend beyond Vaikuntha, although those with a thirst for Braj Bhakti offer their deepest respects to the bhajan performed by Sri Haridas Thakur. They always choose to follow Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami, and Sri Raghunath Das Goswami. So if that's our mood, then we should follow these personalities. The topmost Rasik Brajbasi Goswamis always remained absorbed in Brajabhav, and in a mood of intense separation, they bathed in the nectarian ocean of Sri Krishna's Braja pastimes, day and night. So this is what we read from their teachings. We read the teachings of Srila Rupa Goswami. We read the teachings of Raghunath Das. We read the teachings of all of these personalities. What was their moods? What were they immersed in? We want to emulate that. Our sole aim is to perform bhajan under their guidance, taking their shelter, calling out to them, praying to them for guidance. The following statement has been heard directly from the mouths of some bygone worshipable Vaishnavas.
Bhairanga kar nama sankirtana, antaranga kar prema swadana.
In public, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would perform Nam Sankirtan. In private, with his most intimate internal associates, he would relish Braja Prem. So externally, the Sankirtan mission is manifesting prominently in the world. But internally, unless the sadhak is being very attentive to the direction of his chanting, that means what is the sadhya, what is the goal that he's cultivating? Where does he want to, what does he want to achieve? Bhaktivinoda Thakur talks about our spiritually conceived of body. That body will be conceived according to our innermost desires. It will manifest in that way. It's there in potential, but how will it manifest without the focused direction of the activities that the Brijbasis are performing, if that's our goal? In the Gambhira, Sriman Mahaprabhu would relish Brajaras exclusively with Sri Damodar and Sri Rai Ramananda. These two most intimate associates of his would recite verses and songs according to his internal moods.
Aidina dayadranadha, he mathuranadha kadavyalokya se, hridayam tvadalokya kataram daita bhramyati kim karomyaham.
This is such a famous verse. Aidina dayadranadha he mathuranadha kadavyalokya hridayam tvad aloka kataram daita kimyatam. Dayata Brahmite Kim Karomyaham. What does this Kim Karomyaham mean? This is coming from the expression of kinkari. What is a kinkari? A kinkari is saying, what can I do? What can I do? What service can I perform? That's what a kinkari is. A kinkari in the group of Sri Radhika, they're always crying out, what can I do? What can I do? So Madhavendra Puripad, he chanted this verse at the time of his departure. Ai dina dayadrinadahe, Mathuranath Kalavayog. He's calling out in a mood of submission to Sri Radhika. Why? Because he's remembering another verse. He's remembering a verse from the 30th chapter of the 10th canto, when Sri Radhika is left by Krishna. Hey, Nata Ramana Prishta, Kwasi Kwasi Mahapuja, Dasyaste Kripinaya Me, Saki Darshayan Sanidim. Radhika has been left by Krishna. After they've walked through the forest, Radhika's mood of attachment, of affection for Krishna has reached its pinnacle, and suddenly Krishna has left. Hey Nata Ramana Prishta, Kwasi Kwasi Mahapuja. She's crying out like this. So Madhavendra Puri is remembering this verse, and he's singing this verse in response to that. This is very beautiful appreciation. Where does this verse come from? It comes from that inspiration. When Sri Radhika is calling out, oh, dear Lord of my life, I am so wretched, so fallen. You've left me here. Come and save my life. Oh, and this translation of this verse, O Master, your heart always melts because of your compassion for the destitute. O Lord of Mathura, when will I see you again? O beloved Lord of my life, because I was hankering so fervently to see you, my heart has become intensely restless. What shall I do now? Kim karomya aham. What shall I do now? This is the mood of a kinkari. So Madhavendra Puri is revealing his identity. Actually, it's a very interesting point that we've tried to understand the identity of Madhavendra Puri in the Radha Ganadeshika Deepika. It's saying, of course, that Madhavendra Puri is the embodiment of a Kalpa Vriksha tree. But it doesn't mean he's a tree. It doesn't mean that's his identity as a tree. He's the embodiment of that mood of a Kalpa Vriksha tree that can just give munificently anything. But it doesn't mean he's a tree. So who is he? What is his personality? So we asked Srila Gurudev this question one time, and he didn't give us an answer. And he told us that Srila Vamana Maharaj also didn't have a proper, clear answer for this. So it seems to be practically unknown what is the Siddhadeya of Madhavendra Puri. I don't know who that is. Srila Bhaktivedanta Vamana Maharaj, he also didn't say who that was. But he is the Prem Ankur, he's the seed of Bhav in this world for Mahaprabhu to connect with. But the actual identity of this person wasn't revealed clearly. But still, from this last part of this line, Kim karomya aham, what shall I do now? This must represent a mood of manjari. This must have a mood of deep longing to please Krishna. As did, so now, yes, we have another verse here from Krishna Karanamrita.
हे देव हे दैत हे भुवनैक बंधो हे कृष्ण हे चपल हे करुणैक सिंधो हे नारद हे रमण हे नयनाभिरामम हा हा कदानुभवितासि पदाम दृशोर्मे.
Sri Krishna Karanamrita 40. My Gurudev is giving us all these udipans of verses. If it's really Brajaras that we want, if we really want to connect with the Brijbasis, this is the method to connect. By hearing these verses, by enumerating these verses, by remembering these verses, by making these verses very prominent in our meditation and remembering the significance of them. O my worshipful Lord, O dearest one, you are the only friend of the entire universe. O Krishna, O restless one, you alone are the ocean of mercy. O my master, O my lover, O charmer of my eyes, alas, alas, when will I behold your lotus feet? This is Bilva Mangala Thakur. He is calling like this to Krishna. Only Sri Rai Ramananda and Sri Swarup Damodar could understand the deep meanings of these verses, and only they could console Mahaprabhu when he was overwhelmed by the sharp pangs of his intense mood of separation from Krishna. In his commentary, Srila Sanatana Goswami Pad has certainly indicated the great importance and speciality of the moods of the Raganuga Bhakti, over those of Vaidhi Bhakti. Vaidhi Bhakti, they don't discuss these things. Vaidhi Bhakti, they're concerned with the rules and regulations, and they're concerned with progress towards a glorified, liberated condition of perhaps Vaikuntha or even Dwarka. In Dwarka, they all revere the Lord as that supreme person, all in a mood of Aishwarya. But this mood of sweetness only manifests in Braj. This whole Damodarastakam is so rasik, it's so much Vrindavan. Everything about it radiates Vrindavan. So to access Vrindavan, we need to access through these mantras, through these verses, hearing these verses, remembering Rai Ramananda, remembering Swarup Damodar, as Raghunath Das has just indicated previously. Raghunath Das is the Prayojanacharya. He's telling us how to actually enter this world of Brajaras, Brajaprem, of Bhajan, how to do that. It means that the whole intoxication of the material world has sobered right down, where there's no more desire. You can't actually enter this whole meditation if you're still intoxicated with various desires in this material world. Just doesn't, the equation is not there, because it's not in this material world. It has nothing to do with this material world. If you're caught up in so much attachment to this world, how can you possibly access that other world? You're held by chains of desires in this world. And unless you purify and break those chains through greed, it's only through greed that we can do this lobe. Krishna bhakti rasa bhavitamati kriyatamiti talabite. Tatra lolyam apimulyam ekalam. This lolyam, only by that greed to attain that place. That place is fully Vishuddha Sattva. This place is the Jad Jagat, the dull material world. If we're involved in so much in this world, how is it possible? It's not possible. The consciousness cannot go into that world. So that has to be put in place. All our various situations have to be reconciled with the prominence of my desire to achieve Braja Prem. That's all. It's not a big dramatic change necessarily. It's just that what is the prominent desire in my mind? Is it to make a nice, comfortable place here in this world for my sojourn of perhaps 80, 90 years or something like that? Is that what my main focus? To make some insurance for my old age and all this kind of stuff? Is that what I'm concerned about? Or am I actually looking to completely immerse my heart and consciousness in that spiritual reality? The Raganuga sadhaks should remember that our Goswamis are all Radha Pakshiya, those who identify themselves as being part of Sri Radha's intimate group. So we've said so many times, every single personality in our Guru Varga, they are all Manjaris. They have all revealed their Manjari identity. It's difficult to think how people can't go this road. Because who are we being guided by? We're only being guided from Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. Who else is our guides? I don't know of any guides who are guiding us into a liberated condition in our line. Was Bhaktivinoda Thakur encouraging us to become liberated? Encouraging us to find happiness in family life and this material world? Were any of our acharyas slightly focusing in that direction? All are encouraging enthusiastically, take shelter of Srimati Radhika. This Manjari Bhav, because this is the gift directly, this Swa Bhakti Shriyam. Anapita Chirim Chirat Kuranavatinokola. This hasn't been given for a long, long time. Chirim Chirat. How long? How long a time, Harindu? How long? Huh?
Many years.
How long? Many years, 20 years, 30 years? How many years? How many years? 8,640,000,000 years. A whole day of Lord Brahma. This is what Anapita Chirim Chirat means. One entire day of Lord Brahma. We have that chart. And that chart shows very, very clearly there are 14 Manvantaras in the day of Lord Brahma. One day equals 4,340,000,000 years. It's divided into 14 Manus. And in each Manu there are 71 cycles. Satya, Treta, Dvapakali, Satya, Treta, Dvapakali. 71 times. It's a long, long time. So if you take the night into consideration also, that's another 4,320,000,000 years. So the total time, Krishna always manifests only once in the day of Lord Brahma. He manifests many avatars, but Brajendranandan Shyam Sundar only comes once. to taste his sweet leelas, like this Dambanda Leela. Only once he does that. And straight after that, every single time, comes Sachinandan Gaurahari to explain who was that Krishna who just came 5,000 years before. Because nobody knew what Krishna was really doing on the planet, or his identity, who he was, the loving relationship. Krishna wants to benefit the conditioned souls with an impression of the purity of sweetest madhurya, love, because that's the highest conception in the spiritual realm. He wants to give everyone that. If you've got something really nice, you want to share it with people, right? So Krishna wants to share that, but it's only once in the day of Lord Brahma. That's what it means, anapita chirim chirat, not for a long, long time. And then what is the next line? Samarpayitam unnata ujvala rasam. This is what Krishna himself wants to taste, this ujvala prem. This unnata ujvala. Unnata means brilliantly shining prem. Only Krishna can taste that directly, but he wants to give the jiva service to that. This swa bhakti shriyam. Swa means own, Krishna's own bhakti. What is Krishna's own bhakti? It's Radhika. Krishna is devoted to Radhika. And what is the beauty of Radhika is her manjaris. This is why Mahaprabhu has advented. The acharyas, the commentators, they've all explained this so clearly. I find it difficult that people can actually think otherwise. How can we go in another direction except this direction? What other direction is there except moksha? Sachibrahmuni, he's saying, I don't want any of that. I only want to see the beautiful smiling face of Balagopal. That's all he wants. We only want to connect with our Guru Varga, who is directly giving us this Swabhakti Shriyam, service to Unnata Ujvala Ras, in the form of Manjari Bhav. That's what Mahaprabhu gave. And that always comes 5,000 years after Krishna. Every single day of Lord Brahma, this happens. Rupanuga Sadhak should remember that our Goswamis are all Radha Pakshya. All of them. Who is not? Tell one. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is Vinod Manjari. Or sometimes they say Champak. No, that's Narottam. Narottam is Vilasa Manjari. Sometimes they have two names. And all the personalities, they're all Manjaris. That means the dedicated maidservant of Sri Radhika. They are only pleased when Sri Krishna becomes so absorbed in thinking about Sri Rishabhanu Nandini, Sri Radha, and his darkish complexion becomes golden like hers. Now this is a verse by Sri Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. Radha Chinta.
Radha Chinta Niveshena Yasya Kantir Vilopita Sri Krishna Charanam Vande Radha Lingita Vigraham.
This is from Sri Radha Vinod Bihari Tatvastakam. This is by Vinod Manjari. Vinod Manjari is Param Gurudev. Is Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj. When Srimati Radhika was in Man, Sri Krishna, in the mood of intense separation from her, became so completely immersed in thinking about her that his own darkish complexion became golden like hers. I adore the lotus feet of that most glorious form of Sri Krishna. When did this happen? You remember when Krishna, we've just described that pastime, when Radhika is saying, Hey Nata, Ramana Preshta, Kwasi Kwasi. Then Krishna leaves her. Where does he go? He goes to Imlital. He sits under that tree in Imlital and takes on a golden yellowish hue. Actually, Lalita, she sees him at that time. That's the first time Krishna manifests, like the prototype, we can say, of Sachinandan Gaurahari, and sits under that same Imli tree that we have there today. 5,000 years ago, he was immersed in thoughts of Sri Radhika. So his bodily complexion changed accordingly. So Radhika, she had that mood of separation in the place where Nityananda Bhatt is today. What's the other name of Nityananda Bhatt? Huh? Shringavat. In Shringavat is where actually Krishna left Radhika, because just around the corner from there is Imlital. So we see on the Parikrama, when we go to Shringaravat, Nityananda Bhatt, and then just around the corner from there is Imlital, where Krishna sat. And Mahaprabhu, he sat there and chanted when he came. So it's all connected. Krishna and Mahaprabhu is all connected. Everything is connected. So this Radha Chinta Niveshanam Yasya Kantya Vilopita. When Srimati Radhika was in Man, Sri Krishna, in a mood of intense separation from her, became so completely immersed in thinking about her that his own darkish complexion became golden like hers. I adore the lotus feet of that most glorious form of Sri Krishna. The sadhak should develop an intimate relationship with his guru. He should have such profound affection for his guru's external sadhak form, as well as for his internal siddha, perfected form, that he becomes intensely attached to him. His attachment should be similar to the natural worldly attachment one ordinarily has for well-wishing relatives or close friends. Something natural, not something unnatural. Always bowing down, bowing down, bowing. Is that natural? So much Aishwarya, you can't even get close. Is that natural? That Aishwarya must be there, otherwise it'll just come into familiarity. That Aishwarya indicates deepest respect. Just like in Braj, there's so much Aishwarya, but it's covered by more Madhurya. And I've told you many different examples from being with my Gurudev when this individuals would demonstrate this. The sadhak should develop an intimate relationship with his guru. He should have such... Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj, his main teaching was Guru Nishta. Guru Nishta. He taught my Gurudev the same. My Gurudev would always teach. Guru Nishta is the backbone of our devotion. This Guru Nishta. Without that Guru Nishta, then we're helpless. His attachment should be similar to the natural worldly attachment one ordinarily has for well-wishing relatives or close friends. This type of natural relationship with one's guru is called Lokik Sat Bandhavat Sambandha. The sadhak should accept that it is his guru alone who can fulfill all his most cherished spiritual desires. That is the only way he can enter into Rupa Nuga Bhajan. There is no other way. There's a footnote here I'm going to read. Rupa Nuga Vaishnavas are those who follow in the footsteps of Srila Rupa Goswami. The internal devotional service they perform in accordance with Sri Rupa Goswami's teachings is called Rupa Nuga Bhajan. If we're following Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Ujjvala Nilamani, Vedanta Madhav, Lalita Madhav, all these books of Rupa Goswami, then we're following in the wake of Srila Rupa Goswami. Who is Rupa Goswami? Rupa Manjari. He's the closest maidservant to Sri Radhika. We want to follow that principle, that line. That is where we're going. Where else are we going? What else is there? My Gurudev would often reach this place and then say, what else is there? Well, where else can you go? Moksha? What is left outside of Radhadasyam? Because this is the exclusive gift of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we are so indebted to Mahaprabhu. Sriman Mahaprabhu instructs sadhaks who are inclined towards this high class of bhaja. What is the principle? Go ahead.
Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sada harihi.
I think I've mentioned many times before that one time we came to Radha Kund with my Gurudev. It must have been earlier on, 96, 97 something. And Radhakund is filled with many, many conceptions. There are many different Babajis here of all different moods, flavors, etc. Some are inclined towards Sakhi Bhav, although I don't know which Sakhi that they're following, who's giving that line, that Loba line. And we were sitting in the Radha Kunja Bihari Mutt, which is called the Damodar Mutt, just when you enter. And my Gurudev called us all to him and he said, now I'm going to give you your Siddha Pranali. So, oh, wow, very nice, very nice. So we all sat really close. Then he said, Trinada pi sunichena, tarora pi suhishina, amanina manadena. This is the current, this is the backbone, because it's the antithesis of material consciousness. Material consciousness is based on pride. How good am I? How wonderful am I? How erudite am I? How intelligent am I? How powerful am I? We're thinking like this. That's the material false ego. We desire to enjoy matter. So Lord Shivji gives us the false ego so that we can make the attempt to enjoy matter in all varieties of ways. And the principal driving or sustaining point of that identity is pride. Pride and envy, they're both synonymous. Whereas prem and humility are on the other side. So that's where the sadhak wants to lean towards that side. Humility. Humility is the greatest ornament. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami said we should carve this in a verse on a piece of wood and wear it in a locket around our necks, always remembering this verse. I said before, it's the pillar that the Krishna Seva Vasana climbs on. This Bhakti Lata Bij, this creeper of devotion. A creeper has to climb on something. So this pillar is our Trinada piece. My Gurudev would quote this verse practically at minimum one time every single day. Every single day he would quote this verse. Sometimes 3 or 4 times. He knew that this is the verse that needs to be injected into the conditioned soul's consciousness the most. And we see in this Shikshastakam, Mahaprabhu is laying out all these different verses, 8 verses, and they're all fueled. We see it if we go through the Shikshastakam by a mood of humility, increasing humility all the way through. Where in the 5th verse, Mahaprabhu takes on the identity of Sri Radhika, Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram. Kinkaram, again, that same word, Kinkari, is there. He becomes like, he wants to be that Kinkari. Ainanda. So that's there. In every respect, the sadhak should see himself as more lowly and helpless than the most insignificant trampled blade of grass, and becoming even more tolerant than a tree, expecting no honor for himself, he should give due respect to all. In this way, the sadhak should always perform Harinam Sankirtan. So, we finish on that verse today. Very beautiful meditation. So this Damodarastakam is really leading us into a nice meditation, beautiful consciousness. So Damodarastakam ki jai. Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol, Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvevacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnave Namo Namaha.